It's minicamp season, and today we're looking at the Colts getting another look at Danny Dimes versus Anthony Richardson, seeing how hot that's getting. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at practice, rookie camp, OTAs, minicamp, training camp here soon, everything in between, workouts. You want to know what your rookies are doing? It's right here. Those quarterback battles, guys you're drafting in fantasy football. You need to know what these guys are doing behind the scenes at practice. It's right here. Click that button. Stop missing out on what your players are doing here. But we're looking at these quarterbacks. Got a little bit of Anthony Richardson. Got a little bit of Danny Dimes here. We're just going to let this roll. And I got some older clips mixed in as well. That way you get to look at your quarterbacks before you take a break and training camp starts in about a month. But the one thing, and you see it, and you know it, especially if you're a Colts fan, is Daniel Jones is healthy, Anthony Richardson is not. Daniel Jones is getting the opportunity to be the guy. And as of right now, as I'm recording, we do not know for sure how long Anthony Richardson is going to be out. I think it could be a possibility we're back early training camp. We might find some throwing clips during this break. Maybe he just needs a little break and things get better. Maybe not. But Danny Dimes showing that he can be the leader, he can be the guy, he can gain some steam. 0 is Desmond Ridder. We have Riley Leonard back there. But Danny Dimes, not as bad of a quarterback as a lot of people make him out to be. At least a few years ago, after that ACL, we had that ramp up. But he's a guy that can push it downfield. He's mobile. He can push it downfield with his wheels. He likes to push it downfield. Accurate ball downfield as well. Like, when I mean that is you got A.D. Mitchell, 4.3 speed. You got Alec Pierce, came on last year. That gels well with that because he will heave it. And that fits with his team. And then underneath, as we know, Josh Downs in the slot, if he can stay healthy. Michael Pittman. We got some good wide receivers here. And then you look at that backfield, you got Jonathan Taylor. Now looking at Anthony Richardson. Mental reps for Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson has all the God-given tools, but we got to be healthy. Like, we did not have all the experience coming out of college to make you feel good about him. And that's the one thing you'll say, yeah, I know he's not playing too well, but he needs more experience. He needs more exposure. It's really hard when you have these moments when you're out like this. And this is why they brought in, imagine if they did not bring in Danny Dimes and they were leaning all in on Anthony Richardson. Imagine if that was happening. Would not be solid. Look who that is. There's Tyler Warren. He's going to be a very dependable player. He's going to be a player for the Colts that's going to be hanging around for years. That's the thing about him. He's going to be hanging around for years. He's going to be helping this team out. There's Anthony Richardson back there again. This is from earlier this week. Getting those mental reps. In. About all you can do right now. At least he's doing that. I'd hope all quarterbacks would do that in this situation. But the thing you're looking at here is you got to have him throwing. You got to have him learning. You got to have him healthy. And the question is, when are we coming back for training camp and being healthy? When's that happening? Like they said, they don't know when. Is it going to be sooner than later or later than sooner? Desmond Ridder trying out. That is a quarterback that I've lost hope for. I'd rather just see what Riley Leonard's got and move on with it. You see 17 back there. Danny Dimes. Working through the drills. Getting it. Anthony Richardson just has to watch. It's very troublesome for Richardson. If you're a Richardson fan, like some people are, this might be it. You may have to wait for something to happen to Danny Dimes. Now, say Danny Dimes becomes the starter. What are we looking at? We're looking at a team that's got some good pieces. They got a lot of good pieces. Very underrated. They're stacked at wide receiver, technically. They're stacked at wide receiver, and they're good at running back. Danny Dimes can facilitate the football. They could backdoor their way into playoffs, and after that, they're a tough matchup. If they're cooking, they're a tough matchup. They're tough out. He has potential for that. If Anthony Richardson could tap into his upside, you're looking at a team that could ride, a team that could smoke. And I think Danny Dimes here, if he's really cooking to what we were seeing, I don't know, 3 to 5 years ago, and I understand, like some of you guys don't remember how far back, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. He can facilitate the rock and push it downfield. Josh Downs should be all right. I believe he's going to have some moments where he's pushing it deep to like A.D. Mitchell. What if A.D. Mitchell takes a step forward? Because that's a wide receiver, if he was in this year's class, might have got pushed up a bit. You're talking 4.3 speed, nasty route runner. That could be an X factor. That could be, like when you look at his separation scores per game last year, per I think fantasypoints.com, one of the top rookies last year, creating separation per route ran. That could be your X factor. That could be the guy that gets this team over the hump for these quarterbacks. Like, I don't compare like Danny Dimes to like an all-world talent or anything. However, this could be an all-world situation if you have somebody step up like that. Because you already got Josh Downs, who's good, Michael Pittman, who's good, A.D. Mitchell, a second-round pick, who's got a ton of upside. Alec Pierce came on last year. He had some big performances. I believe we can continue that and get an A.D. Mitchell to blow up. With Tyler Warren being dependable, like, this is an underrated team. Underrated passing offense. And all he has to do is facilitate the rock and get it downfield. You're looking at him for fantasy football. He's a streamer as of right now. Anthony Richardson is a different story when healthy and starting. That's like Justin Fields' factor where he could have a bad game but still be good in fantasy football. That's the type of deal. Like, you'll want him. And it's going to be a weird dichotomy in drafts as they get fired up if you do not know who the starter is at that moment. And you're just going to have to fire out rounds on the quarterbacks. Mainly Richardson due to the ADP and the upside. And that's probably going to be a discount if you want to take it. Then you take that, and then Danny Dimes gets the nod, which could happen if we continue. These are from OTAs because they weren't playing at rookie camp because they're not rookies. They've been in the league for a bit. Anthony Richardson needs time to develop, needs time to get better, needs time to step it up, needs time to sink or swim. Like, more time to sink or swim. Put the stamp on this. And that time could be just a few games. However, this injury, if it's worse than expected or worse, that's not going to be good. That's not going to be good for his stock with what the coaches are wanting. That's for sure. But he can throw the deep ball. He can get it out there. He can definitely do that. The talent's immense. Danny Dimes, not my type of prospect coming out for the draft, but I will say can hold it down enough, and you got weapons around him. You got weapons. Like, you're hitting the triple crown at wide receiver, tight end if Warren hits quickly, and then at running back with Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor with those wheels. There's Alec Pierce. There's Danny Dimes stepping back, getting it out, firing it in there. Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren with the long hair. He's going to be a very dependable player. A very dependable player for the long term. Like him versus Colston Loveland, I believe they're just two different types of tight ends. I think Colston Loveland's just better down the seam, and I think Warren's going to be better with everything. Jack of all trade tight end, One of those tight ends that's just going to be racking up targets. That's going to be just around forever. Even when he's old and slow, he's going to hold value because of how gritty he is. Danny Dimes back there, getting it out. Getting it out. Looking solid. Anthony Richardson with another deep ball coming up. Early on in the process, they were battling. This injury might end it. Do you think it will? Danny Dimes right now, just by default, is going to get it. Unless something happens. Unless he comes back. He might come back. It might be day one training camp and he's back. Throwing it around. And if there are clips out there that has Anthony Richardson throwing the ball again, and it's posted on social media, I will have a video up on that. First thing that day. It will be here. That's why you need to click that subscribe button right now. Make sure to hit that. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.